As above, so below. As within, so without. This ancient affirmation, imbued with timeless Hermetic wisdom from the Emerald Tablet, unlocks a new realm of perception. It urges us to transcend superficial appearances, to grasp that the microcosm and the macrocosm are not disparate entities, but merely two facets of the same unified universal reality. The very intelligence that sculpted the stars also meticulously crafted the minuscule atoms within our bodies. Today, we embark on a journey to explore the profound depths of this cosmic law, illuminating its wondrous connection to contemporary scientific advancements and the enduring sagacity of mystics and philosophers throughout history. We will unravel how this fundamental principle can be actively applied in our lives, empowering us to evolve into more complete and conscious beings. This tenet, known as the principle of correspondence, posits that reality in all its myriad dimensions is structured fractally, exhibiting self-repeating patterns across varying scales. This Hermetic principle intimates that everything in the universe is interconnected, and that each fragment of the whole faithfully mirrors the entirety. Consider the cells within your own body. Each cell carries the complete genetic code, the blueprint for the entire organism. Each cell, in a sense, is a miniature universe of the body. Similarly, the swirling motion of galaxies seems to echo the dance of atoms and electrons within their nuclei. This reveals that universal laws remain consistent, whether observed on the grand scale of astronomy or the infinitesimal realm of subatomic particles. The principle of correspondence teaches us to perceive the universe as a magnificent mirror. If you seek to comprehend reality, begin by observing yourself. Just as the macrocosm exerts its influence upon the microcosm, our internal state shapes the world around us. Herein lies a potent key. By transmuting what resides within, we simultaneously transform what exists without. From a spiritual vantage point, as above, so below, guides us towards a profound comprehension of the unity of all things. Jesus Christ, in his boundless wisdom, proclaimed, "The kingdom of God is within you." Luke 17:21. Just as the vast cosmos harbors the potential for everything, the human being within their inner microcosm cradles the seed of the divine. The human mind is both an observer and a creation of the universe. Just as the cosmic whole expresses itself in every atom, the human being stands as a reflection of the totality of the cosmos. Hermetic philosophy asserts that each individual is a microcosm, a miniature universe. As this inner universe expands, it inevitably connects and harmonizes with the greater universe. This revelation underscores the power and responsibility inherent in nurturing one's own mind, thoughts, and emotions. For in doing so, we are simultaneously tending to the world beyond ourselves. The philosopher Plotinus wisely stated, "The more a man knows himself, the more he knows the universe and what lies beyond it." This profound idea resonates deeply with the Hermetic principle that, to truly understand the cosmos, we must first unveil the universe residing within our own being. Spiritual philosophy elucidates that our internal state, our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, acts as a lens, shaping our perception of the external world. If we are at peace within, we perceive the world through a lens of tranquility. Conversely, if we are in conflict internally, the world around us appears hostile and discordant. This understanding reveals that the barriers we perceive between the self and others, or between humanity and the universe, are merely illusions. In reality, we are integral parts of a greater whole, and our inner world is in constant interplay with the outer realm. Consequently, by transforming our inner universe, we inherently adjust our relationship with the external cosmos. For mystics, Grasping as above, so below signifies recognizing that everything that exists within the cosmos also lies dormant in potential within us. Carl Jung, the renowned Swiss psychologist and symbolism scholar, a figure often referenced, explained that the personal unconscious of the individual is a reflection of the collective unconscious, a reservoir of images, ideas, and archetypes that profoundly shape our experience of life. Just as the cosmos is in perpetual motion and transformation, the inner universe of each human being is dynamic and pulsating. By exploring this inner landscape, the individual not only uncovers facets of their own being, but also connects with archetypal forces and universal truths that are intrinsic to the entire cosmos. Therefore, the spiritual journey is fundamentally a journey of return to this universal center that resides within us. Just as the principle of as above, so below affirms the correspondence between the macrocosm and the microcosm, it also suggests an intrinsic integration between spirit and matter, being and doing, the internal and the external. Paracelsus, a towering figure in alchemy and natural philosophy, declared that understanding oneself is the initial step towards comprehending all things. For alchemists, the ultimate aspiration of self-knowledge is union with the whole. By transmuting our inner lead, our fears, doubts, and limitations into gold, wisdom, peace, and self-mastery, we align ourselves with the divine flow of the universe. This is the essence of the alchemical process, the work of harmonizing what is above with what is below and perceiving matter and spirit as one. The principle of correspondence invites us to perceive the universe as a series of interconnected layers and realities that mirror each other. It suggests an intimate relationship between different planes of existence, where events on one level of reality find their reflections, parallels, or resonances on others. Within the context of the spirit-matter duality, this second Hermetic law unveils that spirit and matter, while seemingly polar opposites, are in fact reflections of the same fundamental reality. The material world we experience is a manifestation of forces, ideas, and laws operating on the spiritual plane. Matter, then, is akin to a shadow or an expression of the subtle laws and energies of the spirit. According to the principle of correspondence, spirit constitutes the original or causal plane, the wellspring from which all ideas and energies originate. Matter, in turn, serves as a reflection of this origin, molded in accordance with the invisible laws and patterns of the spirit. Envision spirit as the source and matter as the image projected by this source. Matter's existence is contingent upon the presence and activity of this underlying spiritual energy. Consequently, the visible world is shaped by the intangible forces of the spiritual plane, much like a statue is sculpted from an initial concept. Similarly, any transformation or change we aspire to witness in the material realm commences first and foremost on the spiritual plane, be it through intention, vision, or the power of the mind. An illustrative example of this relationship can be found in the very fabric of nature. Consider DNA, a structure invisible to the naked eye, yet containing the complete informational blueprint necessary to construct a complex physical organism. The relationship between DNA and the physical body exemplifies the correspondence between spirit as the source of information and energy, and matter as the tangible expression of this essence. By aligning our minds and intentions with spiritual laws, we gain the ability to influence and shape matter according to our will. However, this does not imply forceful control or manipulation of material reality. Rather, it is a process of harmonious alignment. When we comprehend that matter is simply a densification of spirit, we realize that profound transformations occur when we operate directly on the spiritual plane. That is, at the level of our intentions, thoughts, and beliefs. For instance, an individual desiring prosperity may come to understand that this abundance originates in the spirit through a mind that cultivates beliefs of self-worth, confidence, and gratitude. By nurturing these spiritual and mental patterns, the reflection in the material world will inevitably manifest, albeit perhaps gradually and subtly. Life is an ongoing dance between spirit and matter, where the objective is not to deny one in favor of the other, but to recognize and harmonize both. True alchemy, therefore, lies in the integration of the spiritual world with material existence, acknowledging that every facet of our physical being has a spiritual counterpart, and that every spiritual experience can be lived out in the material realm. This signifies that the pursuit of meaning and purpose, often associated with the spiritual plane, must find practical expression in our daily lives. When we cultivate the spirit through practices of self-knowledge, such as meditation and introspection, we are simultaneously forging a stronger foundation for a fulfilling and aligned material life brimming with purpose. Ultimately, the principle of correspondence serves as a potent reminder that the duality of spirit and matter is, at its core, an illusion born from our limited perception. Both are expressions of the same universal truth. Just as light passing through a prism refracts into a spectrum of colors, spirit manifests in matter without losing its original essence. This understanding unlocks profound spiritual freedom, as we recognize that by fully engaging with the material plane and honoring physical life, we are also expressing the spirit. The purpose of our spiritual journey, then, is not to escape matter, but to transcend it, perceiving it as a vibrant reflection of spirit in motion. The Hermetic maxim, "as above, so below," transcends the realm of mere philosophical or esoteric concepts. It manifests clearly and objectively within the phenomena of nature. Observing the natural world reveals that the very structures and operational patterns we encounter at small scales are replicated across vastly larger dimensions. This correspondence between the microcosm and the macrocosm is not merely symbolic, it is deeply imprinted in the fundamental patterns governing matter and energy. One of the most emblematic illustrations of "as above, so below" in nature is the captivating phenomenon of fractals. Fractals are intricate shapes that exhibit self-similarity across different scales, observable in both minuscule objects and colossal structures. Fractal geometry stands as compelling evidence that the same fundamental patterns that structure the universe in its immensity are also found within the minutiae of the natural world. Consider, for instance, the elegant spiral symmetry of the Nautilus shell and compare it to the majestic form of a spiral galaxy. The same Fibonacci mathematical sequence that orchestrates the growth of a flower's petals also governs the spiraling arms of galaxies. The principle of "as above, so below" becomes vividly apparent in this remarkable repetition of patterns, demonstrating that nature adheres to a universal order. This mathematical organization is widely recognized as sacred geometry, a cosmic language that underpins everything from the movement of subatomic particles to the life cycle of plants and the formation of star systems. Nature is driven by cyclical processes that mirror one another, from the smallest organisms to the largest ecosystems. The cycle of life, birth, growth, death, and renewal, stands as one of the most ubiquitous examples. Just as the seasons change in a perpetual cycle, all living beings experience their own version of this fundamental rhythm within their individual lifespans. In the human body, for example, the circulatory system serves as a microcosm of the Earth's hydrological system. Just as rivers flow towards the ocean, blood flows towards the heart and then disperses throughout the rest of the body, nourishing and connecting all its parts. Both systems follow a similar principle of flow and return, demonstrating that the macrocosm, the Earth, and the microcosm, the human being, are organized by the same underlying intelligence. This profound correspondence between the micro and the macro also manifests in the cycles of sleep and wakefulness, in the rhythms of cellular activity, and in planetary rotation, underscoring that the principle of correspondence is a fundamental code woven into all vital processes. Another striking example of as above, so below emerges in the structural similarities between atoms and solar systems. The nucleus of an atom, surrounded by electrons orbiting it, bears a remarkable resemblance to the Sun at the center of a planetary system, with planets revolving around it. This analogy has led some scientists and mystics to propose that the basic architecture of the universe may be inherently repetitive and holographic, with the same fundamental pattern recurring across subatomic and cosmic scales. This analogy reveals an ordered universe where the microcosm and macrocosm faithfully reflect each other. The philosopher and mathematician Pythagoras profoundly believed that number is the principle of all things, suggesting that reality is fundamentally structured by mathematical and geometric principles that apply consistently to both the vastness of galaxies and the seemingly insignificant smallest particles. In the realm of consciousness, scientists like David Bohm, a physicist and collaborator of Albert Einstein, proposed the concept of the holo movement. Bohm suggested that reality is not composed of separate, discrete parts, but rather of an indivisible totality, where individual components are not isolated entities, but rather reflections of a greater and indivisible reality, much like a hologram. In other words, each part of the universe contains the whole, mirroring the idea that events at one level of reality have repercussions and influence at other levels. Benoit Mandelbrot, the visionary mathematician of the last century who unveiled the intricate world of fractals, revealed how these self-similar patterns are a fundamental characteristic of diverse systems throughout nature and beyond. When we observe the universe through this fractal lens, each small part appears to be a scaled-down version of the whole. Thus, as above, so below transcends its status as a mere philosophical metaphor, becoming an observable and fundamental phenomenon in the natural world. The law of correspondence illuminates how the external world, our achievements, our health, our physical appearance, serves as a direct mirror reflecting our inner world, encompassing our beliefs, intentions, and most importantly, our daily habits. Every seemingly small action we consistently repeat is an outward expression of our underlying mindset, and when these actions accumulate over time, they coalesce to create a tangible and visible reality. Just as a stone cast into a tranquil lake generates ripples that expand outwards, our habits and thought patterns resonate and shape both our physical bodies and the trajectory of our lives. In essence, our physical, emotional, and even financial well-being is the resultant reflection of what we consistently cultivate within. Every facet of our existence is a manifestation of our deeply held beliefs, our persistent desires, and our practiced daily routines. A disciplined mind serves as fertile ground for cultivating healthy and consistent habits. An individual possessing a disciplined mindset, characterized by clarity of purpose and well-defined goals, will invariably reflect this inner order in their physical form. Mental discipline translates into concrete actions, regular meal times, consistent physical exercise, and practices that actively nourish and strengthen the body. Consequently, the body becomes a tangible expression of this organized mind, healthy, strong, and balanced. Conversely, a disorganized mind, easily succumbing to distractions and lacking prioritization tends to generate detrimental habits. This type of mentality often manifests in a body exhibiting signs of disorder, such as excess weight, chronic fatigue, and various health issues. When internal discipline is lacking, the inclination towards immediate gratification prevails, often leading to the consumption of processed foods, excessive sedentary behavior, and insufficient sleep. While these choices may offer fleeting moments of satisfaction, they ultimately contribute to long-term physical and emotional degeneration. Consider an individual who habitually procrastinates, consistently delays exercise, and disregards the quality of their food intake. This person's physical state directly reflects their internal mental disarray. Excess weight and persistent fatigue then become outward expressions of an undisciplined and disordered mind. As the wise Greek philosopher Aristotle profoundly stated, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Each seemingly insignificant action, when repeated daily with intention, yields a profound cumulative impact. The individual who dedicates even a few minutes each day to self-care, learning, or physical exercise is diligently planting seeds that, over time, will inevitably yield an abundant harvest. Small gestures of care and discipline, when consistently aggregated, culminate in significant achievements and a more fulfilling life. To an external observer, a substantial physical or mental transformation may appear to be the result of a drastic, singular event. However, the reality is that it is the cumulative reflection of numerous small acts performed with unwavering consistency and clear intention. Deep and lasting transformation occurs when we truly understand that both success and failure are, in fact, the direct fruits of the seemingly minor choices we make on a daily basis. A seemingly simple habit, such as consciously drinking more water each day, may appear insignificant in isolation. Yet, over the course of months, it has the potential to profoundly transform a person's skin health, energy levels, and overall well-being. This is the principle of correspondence in active manifestation. Small, deliberate actions that originate within the microcosm of the mind ripple outwards into daily life and subsequently create profound changes in the macrocosm of one's existence. To effectively transform external outcomes, whether concerning the body, health, or relationships, it is imperative to initiate change from within, starting with the mind and spirit. This underscores the inherent power of the principle of correspondence. By consciously shifting our mindset and actively cultivating beliefs rooted in discipline, self-care, and self-love, our daily habits begin to mirror these internal shifts. Gradually, our external environment adjusts and aligns with this newly established internal configuration. Those who possess clarity of purpose and a defined sense of direction, those who have a clear vision of what they aspire to build and achieve, naturally develop habits that consistently support and sustain that chosen path. A strong and healthy body, a clear and focused mind, and an organized and fulfilling life are all tangible reflections of a soul that has discovered its reason for being and diligently expresses that purpose through each and every small, intentional action. Upon contemplating the profound implications of the principle of correspondence, we begin to understand that this ancient wisdom transcends mere theoretical reflection. It offers us a practical compass to navigate life with greater harmony, authenticity, and intention. Diligently applying this fundamental principle to our everyday lives can empower us to align our inner world with our outer experiences, fostering clarity of thought, emotional equilibrium, and overall well-being. Just as the universe orchestrates itself with intricate cycles and harmonious balance, we too must strive to cultivate this same profound equilibrium within ourselves. At its very core, the universe can be likened to a vibrant and resonating melody, and each of us is a unique note, contributing to the exquisite harmony of the whole. As our inner landscape is invariably manifested in our outer reality, our thoughts, our deeply held beliefs, and our consistent daily habits serve as the invisible threads that intricately weave the very fabric of the reality surrounding us. The principle of correspondence serves as a potent reminder that we are, in essence, the sculptors of our own existence. The malleable clay is our consciousness, and the precise chisel is our collection of intentional actions. And thus, much like a tranquil lake reflecting the starlit expanse of the night sky, life responds with unwavering precision to the very essence we emanate from the depths of our soul. If we earnestly seek peace, let us diligently cultivate serenity within. If we deeply desire strength, let us nourish it with unwavering discipline. And if we yearn for love, let it blossom within us as a pure and unquenchable flame. Let us always remember that what we consciously create within the sanctuary of our inner selves, the world will faithfully return to us in perfect reflection. As above, so below. As within, so without. May every choice we make be a silent and intentional prayer, resonating throughout eternity and bringing forth the highest and most radiant expression of our being. Thank you for watching.